do not understand that it takes two to tango. They must understand that if they disrupt employment like they are doing, these people lose interest of investing more money in the country, and as a result, they go elsewhere where they could find an opportunity of growing their money. I think they should do like the trade unions I had seen work in London. In London, when I went there 7 years ago, there was a very serious problem in the mines. And the trade unions had demanded money like our trade unions are doing. And the mine that was affected was actually going down and was due to close down. And they called the trade unions, they said, listen, we are employing more than 5,000 people here, and we are on the verge of closing down. We are losing business, and you are losing employment. Who is the winner? Nobody is winning. And they then talked to the trade unions to come on board. The trade unions, they selected 4 people to represent them in the board. And they freezed demand of more wages for 5 years. And as a result of that, the business recovered and started working properly, and everybody was working. And within that period, they started increasing their wages slowly by a percentage, and the business is prospering.
So that was collaboration.
That was collaboration. That is what I would like to see happening in our country.
But couldn't it be seen as co-option when the unions move up, and maybe you have more radical unions starting up as a result, and some would say that's what we've seen in South Africa.
This is the problem. I've seen a situation where they actually kill some of their leaders, and to me that is an unwelcomed type of a situation. I think the economy is for us all, and we should value the business exactly the same way as the owners.
We're talking about dropping the ball, and something you've also been very critical of is restrictions that are quashing entrepreneurship, red tape. Is that where we're dropping the ball as well?
Well, I think when I say dropping the ball, this is on the part of our government as well. Our government should understand that to grow the economy also, there should be laws that are created to encourage business people to invest more money. There are laws that are very restrictive. There are laws that deny the people certain rights, and they frustrate the growth of the economy. I think government, business people, and trade unions should know that this is a joint thing. the economy, to grow economy in the country is a joint effort that must be handled by these three groups.
Looking back, you are very well known for working within the system of apartheid, defying the system, making a huge fortune. Was it something about your approach? Was there something unique about you?
Well, you know, if you talk about me, I used to take no. I used to take the word no as an answer. When I'm denied something, I would go back and think, and then come up with a new approach, and knock at the door, and put my point of view until I'm heard by the powers that be. I was not picking up a stone and fight, but I used to go there and convince the powers that be. It was difficult, it was not easy, but thanks God I prevailed under a very difficult situation when we were actually denied the right by legislation.
We're talking about the law now, and BEE is now law. When it came into being and thereafter, did it mean anything to you?
Well, BEE to me, it really did not mean anything. And to me, BEE, I don't think is working. I think if at all they want it to work, they have to restructure it in a manner that it must benefit everybody. But at the present moment, it's not benefiting everybody. It benefits the few who are connected.
Some would even say it's helped create a culture of entitlement rather than entrepreneurship. What is your response to that?
That is very, very true. Some of our youngsters, they feel they're entitled instead of them waking up and trying to do something for themselves. This is the kind of spirit I would like to discourage, because it doesn't take us anywhere.
We have a problem with all these unemployed youth. Does business have a role to play? Is it government's role to make that facilitating environment? Or should business be much more proactive given the conditions that we have in South Africa?
I think big business, to me, it looks as if they are not taking the responsibility I believe they should take by becoming mentors of young entrepreneurs who come up with a good business plan and they want assistance. These young entrepreneurs, I think, should be mentored by big business and be assisted to form up the business and make it a success. But there's no role that we see big business playing in that area.
You told a heartbreaking story today. You went to Brazil and they agreed to collaborate with you and bring a new approach to South Africa, because Brazil has been this shining light in terms of cutting unemployment down. You basically say that it's got held up, delay after delay after delay. What is happening?
Yes, I think this is because of the kind of laws that govern us, I think. I'm being toasted from one office to the other. And as a result, the Brazilians are actually losing interest. They had pledged to assist this initiative. They had pledged $5 million to help me start this initiative. But they have been waiting for over 3 years since we came back from Brazil. I'm being toasted from one office to the other because what they wanted to do was this, that they want to train young people who must get qualified to be able to get employment anywhere in the world. And this is what we don't have here. We do have certain institutions training our young people, but it looks like we don't get the quality of people well trained enough to be employed anywhere in the world. The Brazilians had pledged to say they would help me to bring up such people.
It's astounding. Where is it being held up right now?
Higher education. That is the office where the whole thing got stuck. And we haven't seen any progress since then.
You've also spoken about restrictions around your own businesses. Maponya Mall is iconic. People know you because of that, but you're still opening up malls. And I understand at the moment you're trying to open one in Polokwane, and again, a hold-up.
That is very true. That is very true. The kind of frustration that you get, it is unbelievable. I think, again, this is created by certain individuals in offices, because people always want to know if they assist you to achieve this, what is there for them. And I never did that kind of a thing, of a under-table thing.
Have you been asked for bribes?
Oh yes, I've been asked many times, and I deny to give bribes. I've never bribed, and I don't want to bribe up to this day.
And are we talking about senior officials, junior admin officials, or even politicians?
Well, it could be the staff, you know, the people who are connected in administering these things. They will frustrate you to a point where you actually give up.
You're still opening up malls. We were talking about Polokwane.
Yes.
You're still very active.
As a matter of fact, I'm now making some other kind of business that is very much challenging. I mean, chicken business. I'm growing. I'm producing eggs, supplying hospitals. I'm given about 25 hospitals. I'm supplying eggs in those hospitals, and some of the eggs I'm supplying Pick and Pay, and I found that very, very challenging, because this kind of business was always the business that is run by white people. And here I am, I'm coming into the business. Sometimes I get terribly frustrated because I would order feed for the birds, and they would hold my order. And once they hold my order, they would disturb, the chickens laying eggs, because if you disturb them by not feeding them. You put them 3 weeks back, then to bring them up again, you got to wait, because they would start laying smaller eggs.
Are you saying you were actively being sabotaged, maybe as a black man entering this predominantly white industry?
Yes.
Why? Because you were black and
well, you know, I'm not actually welcomed in joining that industry, but I felt, you know, I had the right of doing so, because if you look at that industry, we're eating more meat that it comes from Brazil and elsewhere, and yet in this country we have, I think, enough to produce for our people.
My final question to you, Dr. Maponya, you are so active, you're in your early 90s. Do you ever think it's time to reflect, to relax?
I have said, for as long as the Lord has given me health, I'm going to work until the last day when they say, Lalagache.
Lovely to meet you.
Thanks so much indeed.
Mr. Maponya.